Felicitations, malefactors, and welcome back to more Cave Gameshire. In the previous video, we worked on the windmills for the water distribution system for Eastford. Today, we're going to be going back over there and be giving those windmills some interiors because, well, they kind of need them. So I will meet you guys over by the windmills. Okay, so over on the other side of the Eastford, we have a site that I actually set up. This is for the next section of the water distribution system. So I have this design already planned out, and I have the block selection kind of finalized. The problem is I can't actually build it yet, so this would be the next step. This would be like a big water tower. I have a lot of the materials already gathered, with the exception of the bricks that I need. And that's where the main issue lies, that I'm using bricks as an accenting block, but I still need a decent amount of bricks, and I simply can't get that clay within the spawn region. So I have to wait until we've moved out of here, and I have my own area of land that I can harvest it from to put towards this. I do have some bricks left over from when I made the pub earlier this year, but it's still not enough to make this building. I would need about, I think, 12 stacks of brick. I could always change it, but I think the brick works really well as an accent block for the build that I've made. So for now, this is going to be just a big square right here. I did have to do some landscaping to kind of make this fit because, well, first of all, it wasn't completely flat like this. So I had to push back some of the land and then reshape it into kind of cliffs or hills. So like this area used to be quite a large hill, but I had to push it back and then make it kind of cliffy. So I had to do that landscaping there. But anyways, it is on to building these windmill interiors. So I'll grab some materials and then I will head into the small windmills here. So I in fact lied. We're not getting into that quite yet. I do have some more changes to cover that I went over here. So at the behest of Arcrid, I moved the pipe down. So it's now 3 blocks lower. So it sits better, I think. Um, so I kind of agree with this change with that. I put a few pillars right here to kind of like elevate the pipe whenever it's not directly on the sand. It now goes into the underground section right here. And underneath this hill, which I did have to reshape just a bit for landscaping purposes, there's actually an entire room. So if I go ahead and remove this grass block, you can see that there is in fact wood planks below this. So that's what we're going to be digging towards today with these two windmills, because they're going to connect to this underground room, which is where I moved the accelerator device down to. The other change that was made was I finished this section of the windmill. So the part that actually goes underground and scoops up the water, or I guess you can call it a well. So down here, we've got a deep well. This goes all the way down to the bedrock layer. In fact, you can see that there is a void hole right there because, well, void holes are very common in early Alpha 1.0 terrain, which is the terrain that we're sitting in right now. So the bedrock layer has quite a few holes in it where it's just stone. I happen to get lucky, and there's exactly one right in the corner here. So I filled this up all the way to about, I think, Y40 or so with water. So we get some nice, crisp, clean void water that gets pulled out and then dumped into the pipe right here. Now, this time, we will actually be building the interior of the windmills. So without further ado, let's get on with it. All right, so in the small windmill here, it is time to begin the building. So first things first, we're going to take this wood layer right here, and we're just going to extend it out to create the ceiling of the first floor, along with the floor of the second floor. And then we're going to extend down these pillars right here. So these kind of corner areas, because this looks kind of strange in my opinion. And then I need to leave this spot open right here for something here in a second. And then I need to open this. Oops, no, not that. I don't remember exactly where it was. I'll have to check my reference here. But we'll do this. And then boom, we've now got the main floor. So the next step is going to be to remove all of this dirt right here and then replace it with a wood floor. Alright, so we've now got the floor in, and I realized that I have actually messed this up right here. So this is going to be the entrance to the lower floor. So we're going to go ahead and place that door down. Cool. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. So I need to leave this open right here. And then I need to probably replace this. And then I will place a ladder right there. Well, no. I'll remove that for now. So right here is where the entrance to the second floor goes. So let me just create a little ladder, and then boom, we can get up here. So let me place some torches down, so that way it's not completely dark in here. All right, so for symmetry, I'll do that. So that's the first floor right here. So this section right here is where I guess kind of the turbine shaft is gonna go. I don't really know what else to call it. And then on the second floor right here, it's pretty much just gonna be an open floor up to the top right here. So I will do this to kind of make this a little cleaner. And then now we've got that. So then I need to go up a little bit further, and then I need to make sure the path is clear, and then I have to go from the top all the way up because of the way slabs work. And then I have to place all the slabs in like a big line like that. So I need to check my reference image real fast. Alright, so after checking the reference image, I realized that I need to actually have stone, so I had to go pull some from one of the other chests. Unfortunately, I didn't want to do that, but it is necessary. Otherwise, I'd have to go gather stone from the mine, and that would just take longer. I can always just fill it back anyways later. So the next step is to fall through the floor. Um, now, no, now I need to do the same thing up here, so that's like a smooth wall, and then I guess I'll use the dirt that I got. So this really isn't go anywhere. It's more or less just to have access for the turbine shaft. Oh damn. Well, looks like I wasted some stone. Oh well. Win some, you lose some. And then up here, I believe, yep, there's the turbine shaft. All right, so now whenever we do this, which we can do after we get done with the lower section, I want to place a torch, maybe like right here. Yeah, I'll do that. All right, so now we're good there. So now we got the second floor done, along with the, I guess, central column. It's not really big enough to justify making a room for, because this windmill is quite small. So the next step is now going to be to dig out this underground room right here, and then we'll set it up to allow for the kind of the turn right here that'll occur. You'll see what I mean in a second. All right, so the room down here is dug out, but now the next thing that I need to do is kind of replace these walls of dirt with walls of stone, and then replace this with wood planks, and then I will place some pillars right here, so some more logs. So I might actually need to get more stone. Well, that's the way it works, I guess. All right, so I finished down this room right here. I actually had to lower it another block. It's supposed to be 5 blocks in height, not 4 like I had. This side right here, let me actually make sure that my directions are correct. All right, so this side right here is going to remain open for the time being. The reason being is that this is actually where the I guess the shaft goes for this like turbine system. So it's going to come over here, and then it's going to line directly under this, and then we're going to place wood right here to support it. I will be coming back here to place signs here in a bit, but now this thing is just going to go straight up. And now I need to go drop down through this hole that I made earlier. So pretty much we just bring this all the way up to the top, and then we're going to just bring it through the top of the windmill here, and then connect it up. And then after that, I will bring back signs down there and place those along one of the edges of it. I'm going to leave that hole in the wall there. There's actually a reason for that. So now we're stuck inside the windmill, so now I need to kind of break my way out of here. Alright, I think that is it. Cool, so now we're on top of the windmill. So basically, that is the entire interior of these small windmills here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the same thing, the only difference being that this turbine thing will go right when it's in there. And then I will kind of show you how that's supposed to connect up in the middle here. So I will be right back after I finish the second windmill. Alright, so both of these windmills now have their interiors. They also have the shafts pointing in the correct direction. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go directly underneath here, and we're actually going to go into this room. So it is a little crowded in here, but ooh, took some damage. So, actually, it looks like I've already set that up right there. Looks like this is my escape route. It's been a little bit since I've been in this room. But, importantly, this aligns to 147. So what I'm going to actually have to do here is kind of remove this. This is more or less... Oh, well, no. I've already set it up to be this way, so I guess I will just keep it like this. So I think the correct thing to do here is going to be to kind of push this into the wall, if that makes sense, and then, like, I don't know, bring it back up in a, or to kind of move it over to 147 so that way it's aligned directly to that section. And then it also looks like it needs to go up a block. Actually, I do need to check the Y level the thing is at. So I'll actually be back in a second. Okay, so this one is at the correct angle, or rather, it's at the correct distance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start digging into this wall right here a bit, and then I think about here. So if I remember correctly, I need to go over about 2 more blocks. Yeah, so the other one, I actually kind of just realized this, but because that windmill is up at a higher height, this might actually be the room. All right, here's the room. Cool. So we've got this established. So because the other windmill is at a higher height, this thing is going to be up higher, so I actually had to bring that down slightly, which I should have realized that, but I guess I just didn't. So this is going to be fairly simple. I'm just going to do this, and then I'll probably just replace most of the dirt. Well, it appears we're having lag again. Well, you get the idea of what I'm attempting to do here. Unfortunately, this server is just shitting itself right now. So I'll be back when the technical difficulties resolve themselves. All right, I think the lag has subsided, so hopefully we're safe now. So what I need to do now is we're gonna go over here. So I did the other side and I refilled the tunnel. So we're at 147 and we're at 66. So we need to go up to a Y69. So let me go ahead and move this up here. So we'll go ahead and go like this. And then we'll kind of move like this. So we're at, well, I don't need to do that. We're at 67 now. Oh, well. That's not a problem I anticipated running into. This shouldn't be an issue because, well, let's see. This is 69 right here, so I may have to do some slight landscaping. And I believe that this is... Oh, wait, no. I am still off by a couple of blocks. I need to be at 149. So I need to do... Oh, well, that's the wrong direction. I'm just messing this up, aren't I? I need to go this way. And then break through the wall right here. Alright, so here is the actual thing right here. So actually, what I can do is I can replace that. Save myself a headache there. So I want to kind of make it so that way I don't have to completely reshape all the terrain. All the terrain here. So we'll do this. And then as we go back, we'll just kind of replace all of this dirt here. Oh, I actually need to leave that open so I can actually place that. Oop. Alright, so what I'll do here is I'll do that. Alright, so that fixes that. And this allows... Oh, well, there's more lag again. Alright, so the plan here... Oh, well, is it done? Wow, that took a long fucking time to take damage there. Alright. You get the idea of what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, I'll be back in a second when this subsides. Alright, so the connections have been made here, so this area is now all hooked up. So this is now the final path to the accelerator. So this is kind of the last pump that sends the water before it goes off to where the water tower is going to go. So now I can fully seal this room back up. There isn't really ever going to be a need to come in here, so this room's just gonna kind of chill down here. I will replace this coal here with stone. I was thinking of making some kind of entrance over here through this kind of like back area, but I don't know. We'll see about that. If I ever have a need to. In the meantime, though, I need to figure out a way out of here. But now that this is done, it is time to move on to the next section, which is going to be the big windmill. Alright, so in the big windmill here, we've got a lot more ground to cover. Or I guess space to fill, depending on which way you want to look at it. So the first step is going to be to tear down this pillar that's just sitting here. I don't need it anymore. It was just temporary access. The next thing that will be done is I will make floor and ceiling for the ground floor here. So we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so I've got the ceiling and the floor done. So the next step is going to be fairly simple, actually. We're going to simply make a little staircase up here, so you can actually kind of, view the area right here. So this needs to be kind of like that, and then boom, you should be able to actually see here. Although I do believe that I actually have messed this up. So this is supposed to be kind of like a flat right here, and then this. Okay, yeah. So I did in fact mess this up, but basically, this will be kind of like a flat block here, and then we'll make the rest of the staircase. That's what you can actually see at the window, because I didn't really consider whenever I was making the inside of this thing, because the way I design buildings is I do the interior and exterior separately. So, for example, I built the entire exterior of the windmills before I'd even designed the interiors, which you might argue is probably not that smart to do. And I can't agree with that because, well, I might run into, say, unforeseen problems because of doing that like that. But it's still fairly easy to resolve. I mean, like, because I just simply work within the framework of the exterior that I'm given, and then I just work and base off of that. So here is the windows, and the other side is just kind of like a checkerboard pattern. So it's supposed to go kind of like this. So nothing really too fancy here. The second floor, however, is where we really start getting into some of the more, I guess, more fun things here. So I'll finish this thing up, and then I will meet you on the second floor. All right, so on the second floor here, we've got kind of an interesting setup here. So we've got a ladder that comes up here, but then we've also got this balcony entrance right here. Additionally, we have these kind of four areas that kind of jut out, which is really just the exterior of the sides of the thing. So, well, looks like we're getting lag again. So to kind of explain what's going on here. All right, now that I'm back in the land here, the land of the living at least, uh, what I'm going to do here is there's going to be kind of a staircase made, and then there's going to be a central column right here that is going to allow you to walk out, and so you can actually kind of get out of this little area right here. Whoops. So the staircase is going to kind of come out here, and then it's going to wrap around here. It'll be like a double entrance, so then you can walk up to the balcony right here. These four kind of things that are jutting out here, they're going to serve as the ladders up to the final floor. Now, because of where we are, you can kind of see right there, I've already got the indents set out for the shafts of the windmills themselves. Remember, it's double bladed up here. So I've actually got kind of like a full, like, as best as I can abstract it, like a gear mechanism that sits kind of in the center right here, suspended. And then it connects up to this. So because of that, the third floor is actually going to end up being kind of this like ringed area that's fenced, so that way the shaft is able to come out through here and go up still. Otherwise, it would look kind of wonky. But this does create a cool effect, so I will join you back when I have the next floor constructed here. Alright, so we're now above the floor right here. You can kind of see how the staircase itself works. So you kind of come up right here, and then it allows you to walk out through here, and then you're able to walk up this, and then exit out onto the balcony right here. Get a nice view of the bridge, along with some of the windmills there. Again, great view of the bridge. I love this place right here. And then in order to get up, you then go up these four ladders right here. Grab this crafting table because I'm probably going to need it for this. And now we come up to the second level. So now we have a a little area right here with a hole in the center. This is going to remain open because the shaft itself from these is going to come up through here, and then it connects right there. So this is kind of the spot where all of that happens, and then that like window up there is kept open as well. But before we go about that, what we will do instead is we are going to kind of make this flush on the inside. So kind of give this like, kind of even the room out a little bit right here so we don't have these overhangs that are just chilling like this. I'll add the guardrail in after I'm done, mostly because, oh, I'm actually out of cobblestone. Well, it looks like I'll be grabbing cobblestone in a second here. Mostly because the I'm just going to need to be able to quickly move around with that. Oh, interesting. That must be a stair or something. Because I can't place a torch on that. Interesting. So the the next thing is going to be to kind of make a slight balcony right here. Because I can't really do the staircase thing like I did on the ground floor because this is really far above the kind of the main floor area. So instead, what I do here is we just make this small balcony right here. And then we get some ladders going up here, which I unfortunately am out of. And then we'll ring it with uh, some fences right here. But yeah, that's pretty much the way this works. Now, the actual making of the shaft itself is not terribly difficult, although I do need to make sure I do it in kind of the correct way, quote unquote. So I had to build from the top up because of the way you place slabs. I'm not exactly sure when that gets changed, but I will personally be excited when that does change because it's honestly quite annoying having to build things with slabs in that particular fashion. Because if you screw it up, then you have to go back and you have to like do it the annoying way. Alright, so that should be enough fences, and ladders, because I did need some more ladders. So we'll do this. Cool, this will allow us to get up here. And then we don't really need that much room, so we're literally just going to kind of ring this with fences right here. And then I kind of want a torch right there. So you can come up here, you can get a view out of the window. It's not a good view. The balcony is honestly a better place to grab a view, to be honest. But now I seemingly need to get some more cobblestone to fix that. And then I'm going to build these shafts, and then we'll connect them up. And then I will finish by ringing this area. So I'll be back any second. Alright, so I've finished off the turning gears in here, along with setting this thing up. I'm just going to let those slabs despawn. It's not too big of a deal. But you can kind of see roughly how this is supposed to work, is that you have the upper blades up here, and then the lower blades down there, right there, that come through the walls, and they kind of turn this central gear shaft. And then that, in turn, turns this side right here, which, of course, since we're facing backwards, we know that that right there is the wheel up at the top that drives the main collection for the water coming out of the well. And so that is kind of how roughly the mechanical energy is supposed to be applied there. And then, of course, from the well, with this main wheel turning over here, since that's the primary like driver there, the wheel at the bottom, because I did actually build a similar wheel at the bottom of this well here. It is mostly just passive. Think, say the back wheels on a two-wheel drive car. So anyways, it pulls up this water in these iron block buckets. It comes around the top, and then it deposits into the pipe. Gravity will, of course, take the water, and then it will bring it slowly along here until it passes underneath through into the accelerator, which is in this room right here, this underground room. These two windmills will cause the acceleration, which will then shoot the water very quickly out this pipe. And currently the pipe stops, but it's going to eventually go into a water tower where it's going to be pushed very high above the city. And then from there, it will use hydrostatic head from gravity to... Oh, I hear a spider. It will use the hydrostatic head from gravity to push water down the pipes and then into buildings within the city. Because it's going to be so high up, though, I don't have to really worry about having multiple towers in the city because, well, it's able to go down and then the pressure is able to force it back up on the opposite end, of course, again, due to the transfer of energy. But in a nutshell, that is how the water system works. And now all that's left is, of course, the main water tower. But because I know how this is supposed to operate now, I'm able to now freely build cities here. I'm able to freely build buildings in the city here without worrying about, hey, where's the water coming from? Because now I have an answer. So that was a slight detour into making a water system. Unfortunately, I still am going to have to wait until we move out into the kind of greater spawn region. Hopefully soon. We'll see about that, though. I have to wait until then, of course, because I need bricks. But whenever I have the bricks, I will return here, and then I will finish off the water tower in front of the city wall here. But that just about does it for me today. So, as always, I've been Fig. Thank you for watching, and take care.